Alright, welcome today. Today we're going to learn how to take all these parts for the computer stand and turn them into a computer stand and get a good gluing strategy together for them. To do this, you're going to need some wood glue, hot glue gun, some extra glue sticks, thin painter's tape, some thick painter's tape, and that might be it, and some clamps. So some of these clamps and the smaller ones. Don't grab big ones. You want the smallest clamps you can get that will work for that thickness that you're clamping. All right, so let's get started. First thing first, we're going to dry fit the thing. And what dry fitting does, so I'm going to put my hot glue away. I don't need that right now. What dry fitting does is it tells you whether you've screwed something up and you need to go back and fix it before you start adding glue. Sometimes the fixes are easy, sometimes you have to cut a new piece, but it's good to dry fit first to see how it goes. Dry fitting also teaches you a lot about how you're going to actually do it when glue's involved. Because once we start putting glue on stuff, it starts getting messy and hard to take apart, obviously. Okay, so I'm just going to start doing this. You just modeled this, so I'm going to fast forward through the dry assembly, and all you're doing now is just putting it together. Good luck to you. Okay, so that's it. That's the dry fit process. I've got it all taped together. What we're going to do now is just go around and push on all the sides and the corners and see if you can see any movement. And if you can, if it does slide around, add some tape to it to hold it in place. We want these joints to be good and tight because this is how we're going to glue them up right now. So our gluing strategy. We want to use hot glue wherever we can because it's so just fast and easy and strong. But we don't want to use hot glue on the outside. Like if I just put glue on here, it wouldn't be strong and it would be super ugly. So what we're going to do is something a little weird. We're going to flip it upside down. We're going to remove the tape that's on the bottom. Any tape that's on the bottom, we're going to go ahead and pull that tape off. Over here in the corner, be careful not to pull off too much tape. I just want the tape that's over the bottom, not all the other side pieces. They need to stay taped. And here, pull off that one. And this one I'm just going to pull back because it's actually holding on the front faces and everything. And then I'm going to pull off all these others. And we're going to actually take the bottom off. So I'm going to do it in two pieces. I'm going to do it with the small piece first. I'm just going to peel it back gently because it's going to be a tight fit in there. There we go. And just take it off really carefully. Now I can see inside and I can glue everything, every inside joint I can see. I can put a really good, strong hot glue joint in there. So I'm going to go right along every edge that I see. I don't need to worry about this outside one. It's like on the other side, it's an inside joint. It's going to be super strong even without any extra glue on it. All right, so that piece is done. I'm going to set this small side piece, no glue. I'm just going to set it back in place so that when I remove the other piece, it helps me hold them in alignment. So I'm just going to pop it right back. Whoops, goes the other way. Pop it back in there. Again, I don't want any glue on this because I want to be able to glue it up later. Okay, just a little bit of light pressure snapped it in place. Now I'm going to pull back this bottom piece. Came off a lot easier. Set it aside. And now I can glue all of these interior joints. So I'm going to go up every corner. Now what I need to do is put the bottom back on. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to tape the bottom up. So bottom goes on. I'm just going to make sure which way it goes on. I'm not going to push it all the way. I'm just going to make sure it all lines up this way. And I'm glad I did because I don't think it lines up this way. It does not. It goes on this way. Maybe. Nope. It goes on this way. Awesome. So, yes, that's how it goes on. I'm not going to put it all the way on. I'm just going to just to make sure. This is the bottom of it, the outside of it. This is where I want to put the tape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape over these holes right here. Because I want to put glue in these holes. I don't want glue to go everywhere all over my table. Okay, that's going to be my main glue up for the bottom. And now I'm going to pop this over to the side here and just focus on this bottom. I'm going to turn it bottom side down. So this is the top of the bottom piece. And I'm going to add a little bit of glue to each of these holes. Now what I'm trying to do here is not fill the hole up, but rather just make like a bubble sheen over it. If I put a lot of extra glue in each one, see how it's just kind of like a bubble, they'll pop and fall down to the inside. If I fill them with too much glue, it's going to be, the glue has to get pressed out of the joint because that's where the tabs are going to go. So if I put a ton of glue in there, I'm going to end up having to press a bunch of glue out. It's going to be really hard to do. So what I'm looking to do here is just get just a little bit of glue in there. Just enough to coat the sides if I can. See how it kind of popped along some of them? That's perfect. That's kind of what you're looking for. And then along the inside edges, I'm going to add, put this one to the side now. I'm going to add just a tiny bit of glue to all the inside edges of this tab, of these tabs in here. So the ones in the middle already have glue in the holes waiting for them. I'm going to put the glue here on these guys. Just a tiny bit of glue. We're not looking to be heroes here. I'm not even squeezing the bottle. I'm just letting it kind of fall out with gravity kind of a thing. And just rubbing on each one of them. And if there's one where I really couldn't get the glue onto it, that's okay. I would live through that. The nice thing about gluing the bottom last is that it's going to have probably the worst glue joint of the two, but the weight of everything is going to hold the bottom onto the bottom of it. So it's not like it's going to peel off or anything. So it shouldn't matter too much if it doesn't get a great glue joint, because it'll just be all held together. Now, before I go squeezing all this together, I'm going to go grab some paper and put it down on my table so I don't get glue all over the table. All right, now I'm going to bring back my base piece. I'm going to put it like here-ish. I don't know how I'm going to do this. And I'm going to try to put this on top of it. Let's see how that works. So I'm going to line up those back edges. That went on okay. Then I'm going to do it the other. I'm going to do it this way up. I'm going to rotate it around so I can get it flat on the table. So don't put it on the computer stand part, otherwise you'll probably break that piece off as you're trying to get it into, oh, this is backwards. This is the right way. And now I'm just going to see if I can line it up. It may take a little bit of tinkering with it to get everything. There's that. Okay, that part went well. I'm just going to pull it. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Like a champ. Like a champ. It's just kind of falling in place. I'm going to check to make sure so it's nice and level here. Yeah, that looks great. Now I'm going to take some of this wide tape and use it like a clamp. I'm going to put it here, tear off a piece, and I'm going to pull it really tight and then pull down hard and push it down onto it. And that's going to hold that part together. I'm going to do the same thing all the way around it. Put a piece of here, push down really hard, and then do it all the way around to this side. And that'll hold while the glue sets up. We are almost done. Right here, pull it really tight, and put it down that side. Really tight, pull it down that side, and maybe one more here in the corner. Now I'm going to try one more thing. I'm going to see if it sits. Well, actually, we got to pull the little piece first too, right? So this little piece needs to get pulled off again. Boy, that piece is really on there. So we're going to repeat that same process for this little piece. So this is the. I'm just going to make sure that this is the inside piece. I think it goes this way. It doesn't matter. Okay. Yes. Wait. Yes, that's the right way to do it. Okay, so I'm going to put it back all the way on. So this is the outside piece. I'm going to leave it here and put a piece of tape on it so I know. So I'm just going to tape up this edge just like the other bottom. Move this piece out of the way, and then put a little bit of glue in each of these holes. Yeah, just like that. Perfect. Not too much glue. And again, there's 3 tabs on this side and 3 on this side. I'm just going to put some glue on all of them. And then I'm going to put this back on. But I'm going to be careful not to press down because I'll snap that computer stand piece right off if I'm not careful. So I'm going to put this, whoop, it goes this way. Put this on just like that. And that, and now I'm squeezing, not pushing. So I'm squeezing here with my fingers like this, not pushing down on top of it. And that's in. That looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Now, I'm going to put a couple pieces of tape on either side just to kind of lock it in place. Again, I'm pulling the tape really tight before I mash it down and tape it. And then one more on this side. And then I'm just going to confirm whether it's sitting nice and flat or not. So I'm going to actually move this out of the way. Get rid of my paper now. I shouldn't have any glue left. I'm going to feel my table to make sure there's not any like lumps of hot glue on it that might make it wobbly without it being its fault. Put down my thing and make sure it's nice and flat. And sure enough, I push on the corners. It's not. It's a tiny bit wobbly, but it's not super wobbly. If it's super wobbly, it's probably because under here, this isn't in yet. So you may need to just take this. Like one of these is like not in the holes. So call me over if you need help with this stuff. I can definitely help with it. All right, well, that's it. It is done. Just sit aside now, and it just needs to dry overnight. And tomorrow it's, oh, we forgot to do that. I forgot to do this with you. I will help you with this tomorrow. Let me know. I'll give you some specialized glue for this tomorrow. Oh, I forgot to do that first. No big deal. We'll figure it out later. All right, have a good one. Thanks a lot. Great job today.